Dear grade 12 students, welcome to today's English lesson, and we'll be doing reading part 1 for today. We have two objectives to consider today. The first one has to do with identifying a suitable title for a passage about travel, while the second one has to do with responding to 6 multiple choice questions. Before we go to the book, please stop the video and take some time to think about the following question. Well, what does the word experience mean? Excellent. It means to learn about, it means to come in contact with. How about the word culture? Okay, culture is the way people live. So, how can you learn about the way people live when visiting a place? Okay, one thing you can do is visit interesting places like tourist attractions. Another thing you can do is, excellent, visit unusual places. And by unusual places, we mean places where tourists don't usually visit. So maybe they're places for the locals only. And there you will be able to learn about everyday life, and you will be able to mingle with the people. You will be able to talk to people and learn about them in person. We're still working on exercise A on page 8, and you're not reading the passage until now. Take some time to read question 2 and answer. Well, through understanding tourist attractions. Can you truly understand a place by visiting its tourist attractions? What do you think of that? Well, no. We can't do or we can't have a true understanding by just visiting tourist attractions. Why? Because tourist attractions don't give real ideas about a place. So what can we do to have a true understanding of a place? What do you think? Okay, we should learn about everyday life to understand a place and its people. Now it's time to open our books on page 8. I want you to take a quick look at the passage and find answers to these questions. Please pause the video now. Well, what type of text do we have on page 8? Is it an email? Is it a letter? Is it a story? No, it's an article. And an article is a piece of writing that is non-fictional. It has to do with things that are real. Where can we find such an article? In a magazine or on the internet. What can you see in the pictures? Excellent. We have pictures for places from different countries. Moving on to exercise B on page 8. You're supposed to read the passage quickly and choose the most suitable title for the passage. But before we do that, there are two pieces of advice that you need to consider. The first one, a title should match the main idea of the passage, not only an idea of a certain paragraph. So try to choose a title that suits all the passage. The second piece of advice, when answering reading questions, you're matching meaning, not identical wording. So you're looking for a choice that has the same meaning as the passage, not just one with the same words in the passage. We're still working on exercise B on page 8. please pause the video and answer the question. Well, what is common between these three options? Excellent. And here we have an authentic travel experience, authentic travel experience, authentic travel experiences. So this is there in all the choices. But for option A, we have how to have. For option B, we have the most authentic, so details about a certain travel experience. And here we have why a travel writer should have, so reasons. Which of these three options can never be the answer? Excellent. B. We can take this away because we don't have details about a certain travel experience. And again, we don't have the reasons discussed in the passage. We have the ways we can have an authentic travel experiences, and this makes A the answer to this question. Now I want you to go through the passage really quickly to find answers to these questions. Please pause the video now. Well, Anthony's job is excellent. He is a travel writer and he works for the Four Corners of the Earth magazine, and his job requires him to do? His job requires him to share authentic, real, meaningful experiences with the readers of the magazine. What did he used to do when he first started writing? So he was considering things from his opinion, and he took part in activities which he thought would give him a chance to study the locals, but we will see that he was proved wrong and he should be doing something that's different. I've got more questions for you to answer, but before that, I want you to tell me the meaning of the word editor. Perfect. An editor is a person who is in charge of a magazine or a newspaper. How about the word authenticity? Excellent. Authenticity is derived from authentic, and it means the quality of being real, the quality of being true. Now, pause the video to answer the questions. Well, the editor didn't approve of Anthony's way of writing. Why? Because, as we've mentioned before, it wasn't authentic. So, what did Anthony know about authenticity? He shouldn't be looking for it. Why shouldn't he be looking for it? Or where can he find authentic experiences? Excellent. He can find that in simple everyday moments. And how can a person appreciate, value authentic moments? By leaving their comfort zones, by doing things that are challenging. So instead of choosing an expensive hotel to live in, which will never provide you with authentic moments, you can choose somewhere which is cheaper, and there you will have a chance to be in contact with the people and appreciate authentic moments. Moving on to exercise C on page 9, I want you to read the 6 multiple choice questions and answer. But before we do that, I want to share this piece of advice with you. There will always be difficult words when practicing reading. Never let these words make you feel bad about yourself. So it's not just because there are some difficult words, you're to stop practicing reading. Practice anyway, And the more you practice reading, the less difficult words you will have in the future. Well, this is question 1. What is the writer's purpose in the first paragraph? The word purpose means reason for writing. So, what is the reason for writing the first paragraph? The word emphasize means to focus on. The word explain means to make something more simple. So, which of these answers can be excluded? And by that I mean, it can never be the answer to the question. Excellent. A is not the answer to the question because we don't have any focus on how good he is as a writer. B, again, can be excluded because we don't have a description of his job being tiring. Okay. Which again can be excluded? C, great. We don't have a mentioning of his qualifications, and this makes D the answer to this question. When I first started writing, has the same meaning as he used to believe. So again, as I've mentioned before, we're looking for the same meaning rather than the same words. Well, moving on to question 2. Why did the editor disapprove of the writer's choices? Why did the manager of the magazine disagree with Anthony's choices? Okay, we can find the answer in here. Which part exactly? Excellent. These are the editor's words. Don't search for traditional stereotypes. So there is nothing about making places too beautiful, nothing about his style of writing, nothing about paying too much money. And this makes, yes, this makes A, the answer to the question. So the writer described stereotypes and the editor didn't like that. The editor wants the writer to look for reality. So stereotypes are not reality. Why? Because stereotypes have to do with fixed figures about what we think, not what's true, what we think about other people. For example, if I'm to tell you a man from Texas, a certain figure will jump to your mind. This is a stereotype. And the stereotype is a man dressed in a big hat and holding guns. So this is completely different from reality. Moving on to question 3, and it deals with a very important skill that you need to have, and it is predicting the meaning of keywords. So the question is asking you, what are tourist traps? Is line 12. So we go read. These days, I avoid. What does the word avoid mean? Try not to do. And in here, the writer tries to avoid going to tourist traps. So, do you think this is something that's positive or negative? Excellent. It's negative, and that's why the writer is trying to avoid it. And again, the word trap is negative. And a trap, as you know, means something that's used to catch animals or to catch people and prevent them from going anywhere. So we're dealing with something that's negative. Okay, so if we consider the options in here, which ones have positive meaning or which ones have negative meaning? A is positive, nothing negative about it, and we decided we were looking for something that's negative. B again has nothing negative about it. C has nothing negative, and this makes D the answer to the question. Okay, now, what does the word at a cost mean? Do we have anything in here that has the same meaning as at a cost? Excellent. Pay good money is the same as at a cost. Also, we have the word reproduced, and it means recreated, made another time. So now we're sure that Option D is the correct answer to the question. Moving on to question 4. Which of the following is not an authentic moment? Again, what is authentic? Excellent. Authentic means real or meaningful moment. So we have one irrelevant, one detail that is not an example of an authentic moment. So what do you think of A? Right. A is there in the passage and it is described to be an authentic moment. B as well is there in the passage and it is described to be an authentic moment. D is there taking a selfie with an elderly Kuwaiti and it was described to be an authentic moment. So the irrelevant detail is C. Excellent. Question 5. In the 4th paragraph, what is the writer's main point? Before answering this question, I want you to take some time and think about this tip. Okay. We have a comparison between main ideas and supporting examples. Which of these do you think is more general? Excellent. Main ideas are general, while supporting examples are supporting the main ideas. So they are examples to the main ideas. Well, this question is asking you to identify the main point or the main idea of paragraph 4. So what do you think of option A? Knowing the local language is very important, is not mentioned in the paragraph at all, so we can exclude it. Excellent. Do you think B is the main idea or a supporting example? Excellent. It is a supporting example. So, again, it is excluded. Living like a local helps you become aware of the culture. This is kind of a really general statement, and it can work as the main idea. So we will keep this in consideration. Option D, to experience culture, you need to leave the comfort of your home. This is rather a supporting example than a main idea, and also it is not mentioned in the text. There was a mentioning of comfort zone in the passage, and again it is not the main idea, so this makes C the main idea. So living like a local helps you become aware of the culture is the main idea, and option B is a supporting example to this main idea. So one way to live like the locals is to go on a bus and live like the locals. Moving on to question 6. I want you to tell me what a souvenir is. Perfect. A souvenir is something that we buy when visiting a place to help us remember this place later. Now, this is where we have the word souvenir in the passage. Take some time to read the last 3 or 2 lines and think of an answer. Well, we can easily exclude A because we have nothing about the memories of sightseeing mentioned. We can exclude B as well, food from the particular country, although there is a mentioning of majbous in the passage, but it has nothing to do with the souvenir. D can be excluded as well. Staying in touch with people in foreign countries was never mentioned. And this makes C the answer to this question. The best souvenir is the experiences with cultural encounters So we have C as the answer to this question. After this lesson, you should know how to identify the main idea of a passage or of a paragraph. And also you should know how to support your response with evidence from the text. This is the end of today's lesson. Thanks for watching, and remember, this video is always available on Microsoft Teams for you to watch at any time.